One of the things I've done in my stream is I've allowed viewers to use channel points, chat messages, subs, bits to interact with OBS. So for example, I have a chat command that my moderators can use to change my scene to my game scene for when I forget that I'm still on my just chatting screen. Or I have a channel point redemption that allows my viewers to punch me in the face.
You know what gives me anxiety? Dusty.
It's been a real staple of my channel. Now, I did a video a couple months back on exactly how to do that. If you haven't seen it, click on the I thing. TLDR, all of this was possible by using a program called Board, and at the time that I made that video, that was the only program that I'm aware of that was able to do that. But that was forever ago. That was like before the apocalypse. There's a new competitor now, one that's easier to use, and one that you might have already heard about. So let's talk about that. What's up guys, it's Nutty. So let's talk to, ow, what the? Have you heard about Nerd or Die? Nerd or Die is a place where you can get designs, overlays, alerts, all kinds of cool stuff for your stream, and all of their designs are super customizable and really easy to install. They even have a really simple system for installing full overlay packages in one click. I've also worked with Nerd or Die to give the first 20 of you guys 50% off your total order, and all you need to do is go into the description box down below and use the code NUTTY50 at checkout. Make sure to get in fast because the code is only going to work for the first 20 customers. Check out Nerd or Die and upgrade your stream today. I'm watching you, bud. Am I blind? Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be setting up your stream so that your OBS install reacts every time a viewer uses channel points, writes in a chat message, spends bits, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Basically, if you've watched my Board video and you didn't like that for some reason, this is a newer method that you might find easier to use. Now to do this, we're going to be installing an app for your phone called Touch Portal. Now you might be wondering, a phone? Why do I need a phone? You think I'm a millionaire or something? We'll get into that a bit later because I do have some thoughts on that. If you haven't heard of Touch Portal, it's basically advertised as a replacement for an Elgato Stream Deck that you can install either on your phone or your tablet. I don't really agree with that marketing, but anyway, that's a topic for another video. The way it works is you can set up buttons on your phone, and each of these buttons has a different action. So you can have a button for changing your scene, you can have a button for toggling your camera on and off, or you can have a button for muting your microphone. Basically anything you can do in OBS, you can set that to be an action on one of the buttons. Here's the kicker. In the last Touch Portal update, they added support for Twitch triggers. So now each of the buttons you have set up on your phone, they can now be activated by Twitch chat. Now some of you might be thinking, oh great, another thing that doesn't work in Streamlabs OBS. Well, guess what, Brandon? This actually supports Streamlabs OBS. Yeah. Go SLOBS for once. How do we set up Touch Portal? So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to either the iPhone App Store or the Google Play Store and download the Touch Portal app. Just keep in mind, while the app is free, you're gonna be limited to a 2x4 grid of buttons and a maximum of 2 pages. If you want the full version that allows you to have like a bajillion buttons, then you're gonna have to pay the full price, which is $13, which in my opinion is well worth it. But try it out for yourself first, and if you like it, then go pay for the pro version. You're also going to need the desktop client, which is where you're going to be setting up each of the buttons, and it's also going to be what the app connects to. And finally, you'll need to install the OBS WebSockets plugin, which allows the desktop client to communicate with OBS so that it can take control over it. I've linked everything you need to download in the description box down below, but I'm not going to go through step by step on how to install everything because frankly, it's been done a million times before on YouTube. So if you are having trouble, I will also link the Touch Portal Discord in the description. There are loads of people willing to help you out there, but the app does have a pretty good setup wizard, so it should be pretty straightforward. So assuming you are able to get everything working, first thing is to open up the desktop client. Now, when you open up the client, you're gonna see what looks like a phone with a 2x4 grid of buttons. Now, the reason it looks like a phone is if you pull up the Touch Portal app on your phone, what you see in the desktop client represents what you see in your phone. By default, 6 buttons are already pre-configured for you. You got some buttons set up for starting a stream, starting a recording, muting your microphone, and a bunch of other stuff. The first thing I'd recommend doing is pulling out your phone and testing that each of the buttons actually works. So take your phone out, push each of the buttons, but don't press the start streaming button, okay? Because like this one time I did that and I was streaming for like 5 minutes and then people like came in the channel like, the hell are you doing, bro? Once you've confirmed that the buttons are working, you probably want to set up your own commands. So click on an empty icon and then this page will pop up. And basically this page is where you're going to script all of your commands that happen when you push that button on your phone. On the left pane, you'll see a list of actions, and an action is basically a thing that you're telling Touch Portal to do. So if you add an OBS action to set scene, then when you push that button, it's going to change the scene in OBS. And actually, if you click on that action, it will appear in the middle pane under the on press tab. Essentially what we want to happen is we want to list out all of the commands that we want to happen in this middle pane. So let's set up a super simple command. We're just gonna use a set scene action, and then we're gonna use this button to change our scene to our game scene. You can add as many actions as you want, but we're just gonna keep it really simple for now. And then make sure in the right pane you set a label for the button so that you know what the button does. And then optionally, you can also change the icon for the button. And actually, if you don't set either of these, then the button just doesn't exist for some reason, even if you save it. So make sure you do that because Touch Portal doesn't do it for you. I wish it did, but it doesn't, which is cool, I guess. Anyway, click save, and then on your phone, if the icon doesn't automatically appear, just click the refresh button and then just tap on the button to make sure that it works. Now this is great and all, but you still have to manually push the button with your hand. And we don't want that. We want our viewers to activate the button for us. So how are we gonna do that? What, are we gonna invite viewers to our house and then like get them to push the buttons for us? No. What kind of horrible suggestion is that, Brandon? We're going to connect our Twitch account to Touch Portal, and the way to do that is to go into the settings, go into Twitch, and then there will be 2 fields there for access token and chat token. Make sure to fill in both of these fields by clicking the connect and the request buttons and just copy and pasting the token into those fields. Then click save and then restart Touch Portal. Now it's not gonna give you a prompt to do this, but trust me, this took me like an hour to figure out. So let me just save you some time. You have to restart Touch Portal now, or else it's not gonna take effect. Once Touch Portal opens up again, go back to the button that we were just setting up, and then in the actions pane, you'll see some of the actions there have a green label that say events. Specifically under the Twitch group, you're gonna see events there for new subs, for channel points, for chat messages, and for bits. Click on any one of these events and then it will appear in the middle pane under the on events tab. What we want is for this change scene action to fire off anytime someone in chat writes a message. And we're gonna do that by adding an on chat message event. Let's just set it to fire off anytime someone in chat leaves a message that's equal to, I don't know, something like Harambe. Then we're gonna go back to our on press tab, copy that action, go back to our on event tab, paste that action, and just make sure that that change scene action sits within that green event. So if you've done it right, you can save the button, and then now if you go to Twitch chat and type in Harambe, then it should change your scene for you. Okay, so what about channel points? This time we're gonna do something a little bit more fun. Let's recreate the classic punch me in the face channel point reward. So what we've added to OBS is a green screen video file of me punching myself in the face. I've added this as a media source in OBS so that anytime you enable this source, it plays that video file, and then when you turn it off and turn it on again, it just plays it again. So that means all we have to do in Touch Portal is add an action to enable that video file, then add a delay to wait for that video file to finish playing, then add another source visibility action to turn that video file off. Then we just need to add an on channel points redeemed event. It's going to ask you to put in an ID. So that ID needs to match the exact name of your channel point reward. If you don't know what that is, go into your Twitch dashboard, go into community, channel points, and then manage rewards and challenges. Then add a new custom reward. Now you can put whatever you want, but whatever you put in the reward name, that needs to go into Touch Portal. Once we have the event set up, make sure to copy all of those actions that we set up earlier and then put it into that channel point event that's all in green, and then save it. And then, by the way, don't forget, put a label for your button before you save it. And then bam, you can go to your Twitch chat and test your brand new channel point reward to punch you in the face. So that's basically it, but I do want to leave you guys with a few notes because I know some of you guys are going to be thinking, okay, now there's two ways to use channel points. There's Touch Portal and there's Leorin Board. Now, which one do I go with? Me personally, for the time being, I'm going to be sticking with Leorin Board, and let me tell you why. Right now, Touch Portal requires you to be running the mobile app for channel points to work. But not only that, if you have multiple pages set up in Touch Portal, if you're not on the page that has that button set up with the channel point reward, the channel point just doesn't work. And that's super frustrating because not only do you have to have your phone running at all times, but you can't even hide the buttons away in a folder. You have to have them showing all the time. I've spoken to the developers and they've told me explicitly that in the future, this will not be a requirement, but just know that for now, you have to have everything on one page. Other things to note are that Touch Portal still doesn't support hosts and raids, it doesn't support follow events, and it doesn't support different tiers for subs. So if someone subs with like a tier 3 sub, you can't have a separate reward for that. You also can't make chat message events activate for mods only or subs only. So any chat message event you have set up, literally anybody can go for it and they'll just spam the hell out of it. I imagine all of these features will eventually come to Touch Portal. It's very new. I like the way that Touch Portal is going, but just be aware that it doesn't have any of these features yet. The only other thing that I think Touch Portal really needs is some kind of queue system. So for example, if someone spams that punch me in the face reward repeatedly, which, let's face it, people do that a lot, it's not going to play one after the other. It's kind of just going to play as soon as it recognizes the event. So if two people activate at the same time, it's only going to play once. So I'd like to see them fix that issue. Anyway, this video has been way too long, so I'm just going to end the video super abruptly. So join the Discord, watch me on Twitch. I stream 4 nights a week. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. By the way, I've been wearing my merch for the whole video, but then the microphone was covering it up, so you didn't even see it. So I don't even know what the point of me wearing this is.